Hey guys, long time no see. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I refill my hard gel overlay on my natural nails. So it's funny because I had these nails in my last video, but I just redid it because this is like my go-to nail look. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to push back the cuticle. I'm using this cuticle pusher. I actually got this on Shein, and for some reason, I don't know why, but it came in a pack of maybe like 10, but I love all of them. They're just like so good compared to the ones that I've purchased in store or on Amazon. But yeah, we're just going to push back the cuticle. I like to do dry manicures without any other products. That's just my personal preference. Now I'm going to go in with my nippers. I purchased these ones on Amazon. It came in a pack of maybe like 5 or 6. They're super sharp. I love them, but they aren't real stainless steel because they rusted pretty fast. So I would recommend these, but no, only if you like to switch out your cuticle bits every so often. But I would definitely recommend some stainless steel ones. So I'm going to zoom in a bit. Please be careful with this step. You only want to clip off anything that is dead. So anything that is translucent in color is okay to cut. Um, Anything that has color, you definitely don't want to cut because that's live skin and it's not good. So right here I'm just showing you how I stabilize my hand. I use my first finger on top of my finger just so that I'm not all shaky, and yeah, if that makes sense. I'm also going to cut anything that is kind of calloused around my fingertips. Try not to cut too much because it'll just make the callus even worse, but I just like to have everything super smooth and no like rough, skin. So now we can remove the gel and debulk the nail. I'm going to go in with a bit, but real quickly I'm going to show you guys. I have 2x course, which I like for Gel X, and 1x course also for Gel X. I have these medium ones that I don't really use that often. Um, oh, these are actually coarse and then medium and then fine. So when I'm doing a removal and a refill on my hard gel, I like to go in with a fine bit because hard gel is so strong, but it files super, super easy. So you really don't want something that's going to chop down a lot of the product. So I do like to go in with a fine one just because it doesn't cut down as much of the bulk. So make sure you have your dust collector ready. So you don't want to inhale any of that dust. The thing that I like about hard gel dust is that it's very heavy, so it just falls straight down versus with Gel X, how it flies all over the air and stuff. Um, so yeah, I'm just going to lightly file the polish off. One thing about using an e-file, if you guys aren't familiar, you want to let the file do all the work for you. You don't want to add any pressure. Just let the drill bit do what it needs to do without any added pressure, like I said. I'm currently using this on 20 RPM, I think. That's usually my standard, just because it's fast enough to chop everything up and chop everything down without too much pressure needed. That makes sense. So now that I've removed all the gel polish and I've debulked a little bit, I'm going to go in with a fine sanding band. The ones that I use are from, I believe, Melody Susie, which I love. You can probably get a pack of, I think it's like 100 for maybe $7 or $8, which isn't bad at all. Um, what I'm gonna do now is prep, prep the natural nail for the enhancement. So I'm just gonna put on a brand new one, and I'm gonna be using this at the lowest, absolute lowest speed, um, which is probably like 4 RPM. Sometimes it starts vibrating. If it's vibrating, that means it's just not on properly, so I have to push it down all the way and then start again. So I'm going to go right around the cuticle area, and when I'm doing this, what I'm doing is picking up any of the dry cuticle that is left over on the natural nail plate from the regrowth, and I'm also blending in um, the grow out into my natural nail, if that makes sense. So if anything is lifting, you want to make sure to file that off, as well as have the edges of it blend into your natural nail. So just be very careful with this, not to over file. That's like the most important thing. You want to make sure that the drill is parallel to your nail bed. I'm also going to use that fine sanding band to go over the rest of the nail just to give a smoother surface so it's a little bit easier to apply the new gel. Now that that's done, I'm just going to clean off my hands and put my dust collector away for now. And I'm going to grab some Swipe from Young Nail, and I'm going to spray it on my nails and really just buff off all that dust using my nail brush. You definitely want to get all the oils and dust off your nails before we start anything else. Before I get into the gel, I'm going to file up my nails just so that I don't have to put gel on areas that I don't plan on keeping. So I'm just going to reshape my nails, um, yeah, to my desired style. I like a nice sharp stiletto nail. That's just always been my vibe. So I'm just going to file up the sides. And you guys are going to see in this next clip um, why I hate natural nails, or my natural nails at least. I have a natural curve to my nails, and that's why I love Gel X, because it kind of straightens it out and doesn't make it look super curved. But I just hate the natural curve of my nails. Typically with hard gel, you're supposed to correct it, but it's just like a lot of work that I don't feel like doing on myself. So I just go along with my nail shape, and they curve down, and it's not that cute. But you guys can see where I overfiled because I do have that curve. Um, Not pretty, but I'm going to try and straighten it out, and then I'm going to fix what I overfiled with gel. After I dust everything off, we can go in with the products. I'm using this dehydrator from Mia Secrets, YN's Protein Bond, which is like holy grail, and then also this YN Flex Gel, which I've grown to really, really love. I was using their sculpted gel before, but it's a lot thicker, so I really enjoy the viscosity of this Flex Gel. Um, in that last clip you saw I had two brushes, an applicator brush as well as a fine line brush, and I'll show you guys how I use that later. So I'm going to start by applying the dehydrator, and this is after I use Swipe. If you use Swipe, you technically don't need to do this, but I like to dehydrate my nail um, as much as I can. So next I'm going in with YN's Protein Bond. It is recommended that you use 2 coats of this for the best adhesion. So next I'm going in with my Flex Gel. As you guys can see, the viscosity is pretty nice. It's still really thick, but it still flows in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. But I'm going to grab a ball onto my brush, and then I'm going to apply it to the upper center of my nail. And then I'm going to move it around just so it warms up on my fingernail. And then I'm going to push up that ball into the cuticle area, making sure not to touch the cuticle or the skin. Just push it up as far as you can, and then start to pat and hover it down. When I bring it down, I like to do like a smiley motion like this while bringing it down. You want to leave a bulk of that product in that apex area. After I brought it all the way down, I'm going to cap the free edge with this gel just to protect the natural nail so it doesn't break. Now I'm going to go in with my fine liner brush, and I'm really going to go into these sidewalls to make sure that it has product. As you guys know, the nail usually chips right here in that area where the brush is, so you want to make sure that part is very much covered so that you don't get any cracking in your nail. This gel is self-leveling, which I love, but with that being said, you do have to kind of work quickly so that it doesn't pull on the sides. As you guys can see, I use the light as a source. If the light on my nail, like the reflection of the light, is straight, then that means the nail is completely balanced. So I'm just going to flash cure for about 10 seconds so I can start the other nails. As you guys can see, the reflection is a straight line, so it is very much balanced. So now we can start on the next nail. I'm going to show you this one in real time before I speed up the other ones, just so I can show you guys how to do it again. You want to grab a glob. Sometimes, honestly, I'd rather grab more than I need, because you can always remove it. I'm going to push that ball up into the cuticle, not touching the skin, but push it far enough that you fill in the regrowth. After that, we're going to leave a bulk of it at the top. Keep your finger pointing down, like how I have it in this video, just so gravity can pull it down. And then we're going to do smiley motion and bring it all the way down until we can cap the free edge. I had a little crack on the tip, so I'm just going to apply more gel there just to fill it in. Then we're going to go in with the fine liner brush. As you guys see, I have gaps on the side here that I'm going to drag the gel around so that it fills completely. I'm also going to go over where I had that little overfile that I was talking about earlier, just to kind of fill it in. I have to play around with this finger a lot. For some reason, it's just like the ugliest nail on my finger, so I'm just going to play around with it. As you guys can see, the reflection is there and it's straight, so that means my nail is pretty balanced. Um, Sometimes if the product moves around, you could just hold your finger up to have the gel transfer to where you need it to. Um, that's what I love about gel. It's very forgiving and you could still play around with it. It doesn't dry up, obviously, until you cure it. So I love working with gel. I know some people don't, but I love it. I'm going to put my hand upside down because a lot of the product was pulling to the sides. So by turning your hand upside down, it's going to travel back to the center and create that apex. And we're going to cure for 10 seconds and then we can move on to the next ones. So now that that's all done, this is what it looks like when it's freshly filled. As you guys can see how the light bounces off, everything is very much balanced. The reason why it's important to balance is just it's less work for you, less filing to make the nails even and things like that. So I'm just going to go in with some swipe and I'm going to really saturate the nails because we want to remove the inhibition layer. So I'm just going to grab these little wipies, which are from OPI, and I'm going to clean up the inhibition layer so that we could start filing and just perfecting the nail. I'm going to go in with the same sanding band that I used, and I'm going back into the cuticle area to make sure everything blends. My cuticle area was looking a little bulky, so I'm just going to use this to blend it down. Like I said, it files very easy. I think I'm using this at 15 RPM. I'm going to look down the nail, and whatever is off, I'm going to file down. So as you guys can see, it's a little heavier on the right side. So I'm going to have to file that down a bit. So I'm going to file that down with my fine sanding band, and then I'm also going to go around the cuticle area just to clean everything up. As I mentioned before, this gel is pretty forgiving. I like to use more gel when applying my fills because if I mess up, I can just file it down. So I misplaced my apex on this nail, so I filed the top of it to get it in the right spot, if that makes sense. So now we can go on to this one. As you can see, it's pretty balanced, but the the gel was pulling on the sides. So I need to debulk the sides, and then everything should be good with this nail. This is my tricky nail, you guys know. Oh, it's so annoying. that was my picky nail. This is my princess nail. I love this nail. I don't know why, it's like the only cute one out of all 10 nails, so I'm just gonna file it up. She's always perfect. Her apex is always looking good. The curvature of the nail is always looking good on this nail. I wish the rest could just get in line. Next, I'm going back in with my file. I'm just going to perfect anything that might have been messed up after applying the gel. Um, just a little file here and there. Last, I'm going in with a buffer. I'm just going to buff all the nails, and this will just help prep for nail polish. I actually didn't even do my nails this time. I just, even now to this day, I still have them just plain with a clear overlay on my natural nails. So yeah, that's it. In this next clip, you'll see me coming back to this problematic nail. There's a gap that I really want to fix, so I'm just going to do that real quickly. Um, Once you've filed and stuff, you can always add more product. It's no problem, just like acrylic. If you need to add more, you can add more. But I'm going in with this fine line brush and a big dollop of the gel, and I'm just going to put that on the sides of both nails. It doesn't even have to be even because I'm going to file it down anyway. Once that's cured, I'm going to remove the inhibition layer and I'm going to go in with the same steps as the other nails. I'm just going to file down that extra gel so that it's flush with the rest of the nail. And you guys can see how it looks now that I've repaired that little gap that I had. And here is the finished look. Like I said, this is a hard gel overlay on natural nails. And I hope you guys found this video helpful. I love hard gel. And I hope you guys try it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'd be glad to help. As you guys can see, she's being a problem again. I'm going to go in with the file and fix it up. But that's about it. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.